of you. Good evening, everyone. How are you guys? Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to all of you. Yeah. So, shall we start the session, guys? Everybody's ready. So, today's agenda is to learn about Redux. Fine. Redux is important over here. We'll see why Redux is important and all. Okay. And then we'll start our project, guys. Okay, I told you in the last session also we will start our project today. So today we will start our project. Okay, I have given you the tour or the guidance about the project. I have showed you the project about the music player and everything. Fine. So today we'll start writing the backend, because see, backend, I'm not going to teach you the all thing, but whatever we have written, let's have that clarity over there. Correct. Let's have that clarity ki what we have written, how everything is working. And the best part in the backend is the most obvious question is that, do you know authentication? And if you know authentication, you know that most of the questions of the interviewers are like can be covered with that. That's why we have that's why we have taken authentication. Fine, because that is not a complex thing. Okay, not a complex thing, but it's a way help you to understand the backend. Fine. So we have taken that as in our session. Fine. So we'll start with the Redux. Now, what is a Redux? First of all, it is a library. Okay, just one second. Let me open my Epic pen and all. I hope it is okay. So okay, fine. It is working. Uh, so what is a Redux? Fine. Redux is first of all a JavaScript library. Fine. for predictable and maintainable what global state management. Okay, global state management. Now what is state management, guys? Remember, where do you heard this word state? React. Correct, where you heard this word react. Okay, in the react, how we were handling the state, guys? We are handling internally, locally. Fine, how we were handling internally or locally with the help of use state. That is one way. State means how you are handling the data. Correct. That was one way, use state. Then I showed you one more way, which is local storage, if you remember. Local storage, if you remember. Fine. Now, I'm just asking you one question over here. Quiz 2 is not available. Quiz 2 will be available after this class, 9:30. Okay. Wait. We'll announce it. Don't worry. Okay. Now, use state, local storage, all those things. What we're handling the state. Now, see, if I create a component tree, suppose, see here, everyone, this is app.jsx, correct? This is app.jsx, and we have uh, three datas. Fine. Suppose here is our checkout button. Fine. Here is our as you can see, cart button. Fine. And there is our payment. Suppose I am just creating three component in one application. Payment, correct? Now, guys, if I want to store the data, I need to call the datas over here. I need to run a use effect, and store all the datas over here. Use effect and use state over here. And this thing we have to do it separately for the check, for the cart, and for the payment. Do you agree this or not? Use effect to call an API, because you see, now one thing over here, please everybody listen over here. Yeah, how everything is working, just forget about this now. Okay, see here, in the front end, this is suppose your front end. This is suppose your front end. Now what you are doing, front end is going and talking to our back end, correct? Fine. Over here in the back end, this is big. Correct, this is what backend. You are requesting some data, and you are getting a response of that data. You are requesting through what? APIs. Correct. You are requesting through what? APIs. In the API, what do you do? Here your logics are written. What your logics are written? When the API is going to hit, when this particular API we are going to hit, what type of logic should run? Okay, and this logic is then connected further to your database, DB. Correct. This is your database, DB. Now, this is front end. Correct. Now, what if I told you, instead of this front end, each and every component now, like this, components. Fine. Components are going and to the backend through a different APIs, through a different APIs, and receiving the data. Everyone is going through a different API. Suppose API number one, API two, API 3, API 4. Is this a little bit messy, you find? Is this you find a little bit messy? Now I am telling, now not four components. Suppose 1,000 components are there. Suppose 1,000 components are there. Correct. 1,000 components are there. And each of the 1,000 component, I have written two things, that is use effect to call the API to get the data from the API, and use state to manage the state. Correct. use state to manage the state. And in the local storage we cannot keep so many data. So you have 1,000 component, and in those thousand components you have written use effect, use state everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Now one thing now, that use state, if the state is getting changed, the component will get re-render. So in what you call scenarios, in real life project scenarios, a component is never alone. A component is dependent on another component. Many of them are child component, many of them are grandparent component, many of them are parent component. What are There are so much of dependencies of one component inside another component. Fine, we have seen that, correct, we have seen that. So if one component use effect is running, how should we know that it is going to affect another components? It feels like a disaster. You have to track down each and every component which is getting rendered if you are using this thing. Local state management. This is the problem. Now, local state management will work just fine if you have very small project. Then no need for going to the global state management. Local state management will work perfectly fine when you have small application, just like to do application. Yeah, it's perfect with them. But what if you have Amazon website to clone? What if you have Flipkart website? What if you have phone pay to clone? Then it is a problem when you have so much big components over there. So what what the developers do is that they do one thing. They wrap this front end, they wrap this front end, and they wrap over here, and they write this as a store. Now in this store, all the state management is done. All the state management is done inside this store. Every all fine. All the state management. Now whatever the component, guys, whatever the component needed the data, fine, needed the data, what they do is they fetch from here, from this store. Now store is common. See, store is common for everyone. They fetch from here. No need to again and again do an API call. This is what we call as a global state management. This is what we call as a global state management. Fine. And who is helping us to achieve this global state management? This guy. And a new version of this is this one. If you have heard of this. Here, boilercode plate is more. Here we have to write more code. Here, very minimalistic code, but it will do exactly the work of Redux. Understood? So what state management? All those datas which are coming from your database, processing from your backend, and all those datas coming to your front end. All those data should be kept where? Inside a store. Inside a store. And whichever components wants to update their data, add, subtract, whatever it wants to do, it can go to the store and fetch the data from there. No need to again and again call an API. No need to again and again call the backend. I hope you understood, guys, the Redux. Tell me, guys, understood or not? Is it understandable? Did you understand? Shall we move forward? Is there anything you want to ask? Please, guys, respond. Please, guys, respond. From my side, I think no network issue, I guess. From my side, so I don't think so. Any network issues there, Anushri. Selvam sir, is the audio clear?
Yes, sir. Audio is clear. No network issue.
Okay. Okay, fine, guys. So see how our Redux has been now. Redux is separate from React. Redux is separate. Redux is a library which we are inbuilting on the React components to do to make to help us with the global state management. Correct. To help us with where global state management. So Redux is fairly different. If you are guys facing network issues, you can please join YouTube. Fine, YouTube live session. Please join there. Those who are facing network issues on the go to meeting, please join YouTube live, guys. No, no, don't worry about the attendance and all. Everybody will get an attendance. Don't worry about that. But please, if you are facing some issues, join join the YouTube live, please. Fine. Okay. So I was telling that this Redux is different from React. Fine. Redux helps with the state management. Redux helps React with the state manager. Fine. Now, how it is being done? See, on a very, very high level, if you see, this is how it is being done. This is the flow chart you need to understand. Then I will give you one very good example with day to day of your life to understand the Redux. Then it's all fine. Okay. Now see over here what it is being done. See what happened when you click on the deposit $10. So your balance should get updated to what? $10. Your balance should get updated to what? $10, correct? So see how everything is really. Click event is being dispatched. Over here with the event handler, there is a dispatch. This dispatch is actually sending an action. This action, fine, this action over here, it is going, okay, and action is carrying the data what you want to change. See here, type deposit and payload 10 means you want to deposit, and the updated data is what, 10. Okay, updated data is 10. Then it comes to the store. Fine. Then it comes to the store. Now store, update, store, what happened is that in that the the reducer is helping to update the state value. This store, in this store, that payload value, the deposit or your whole money data is there. Fine, money data is there. Now it is dollar zero. Correct. Now 10 is coming. What happened? This is inside your store, and once the data is coming from the action, the reducer also is helping you to update this data in the store. Now it will become what, 10. Fine. So now in the store we have the value 10. We can fetch this data to update the value over here 10. As simple as that, guys. As simple as that. Now here you see we don't have any component coming. What it's simply doing, there is an dispatch action. There is a see click event dispatch action over here, which is going to the store, and the reducer is helping to update the state value, that state value, and the updated state value is again fetched by our component. Simple as that. Simple as that. Now this is where we are not using the API. Fine. This is the flow chart where we are not using the APIs. Correct. Now, what if suppose we are using the APIs? Fine. So that is called Redux Toolkit. Fine. Redux Toolkit. Again, it's a part of Redux. There also one flowchart is there. Let me show you. Just 1 second. Ha. This one, guys. See here. Now what is happening? We are we are now what is we are doing? We are again click on the button of deposit $10. Fine. Now again an action is going on. This here it goes what, action. Sorry, this over here is go what, event. Fine. So the click event happened. Now click event here what we are dispatching, action forward slash thunk. Thunk again a kind of where we are using a middleware. Then a new name is given to them, thunk. Fine, a modern name is given. Fine. Actually it is an action only. Actually it is an action. An action has been done and it goes to the middleware. Now middleware, what it is doing, it is fetching the data from the API. Now over here you see only Redux is responsible for fetching the data to the UPI APIs. Fine. So over here request we are sending, response we are getting. Fine. Then the action over here is being created. Okay, for action over here it has been created, and then it is being updated. Then with the help of the reducer we are updating what, our store. Once the store is updated, again the state, the new once the store is updated, what happened, we are again updating the state value, and the new state value is fetched and shown on the screen. Yes, it is shown on the screen. This is how everything is working. Now, with the basic Redux, what we have done, we have just added this one. This one. We have just added this one. This is called thunk. 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 Wherever you see this word, you remember that we are using this for API calling. Right? We are using this for API calling. On all those things, only this one has been increased. That's all. Sorry, guys. Understood? Now let me just give you one more example that you can relate of. Guys, is there any doubt in this? Okay, now see, the state management library of JavaScript, Redux, and Redux can be used with React, can be used with Angular, and can be used with Vue and Vanilla JS. Yes, with the vanilla, with the DOM also you can use Redux. Okay, but mostly you will see the developers are using what? React. With the React they are using because the integration is very easy. Fine, integration is very easy. Fine. Now, why do we need a state management library? Because you see over here, these are what? Components. Suppose imagine what? These are what? Components. These components will have their separate data. Suppose this nav bar separate data, this cart value sorry, this cart value will have separate data, this one has separate data. All of these data, see over here, the data, restaurant menu, cart, food item, order, app.js, separate data are there. Correct. We need to go to each and every one and pass the data. We need to go to each and every component inside those components, then we have to pass the data. Okay. Now, what if I tell you, okay, let's just have one store, keep all those datas over there, and whatever the component needs, fetch the data from there only. Directly you fetch the data from there only. Fine. This is like, suppose this is what we will have, a data, the data in the store. Fine. And that can be updated, like we can have a reducer function which will help to update the store. We'll have a reducer function which will help to update the store, and reducer, and we will have what? Store and action both. Action will help us to again update the data. Correct. Fine. Updated dot restaurants, whatever you want, updated dot everything, food items, all those things. Correct. So we have what? Only reducer over here which is helping us to update the data. Fine. Then see, now let's take some example over here. So what happened? Components. Then in the components, what you do is that you create an activity, an event listener, just like pressing a button. Fine. So what event is being placed? Okay. So what happened when the event is placed? Action is created. Fine. Action is created and it went to the reducer, which is also an event listener. Okay. Okay, what type of event you have done, and then it is going to the store. Okay, so here we are dispatching. What we are doing, we are dispatching the event. Fine. We are dispatching the event over here, then we have forwarded to the reducer. Now reducer and store, reducers are actually inside the store, which is helping up to update our state. And since the state is update, what will happen, since the state is update, the component will render, or if you want you can make the component re-render, and you can show the updated data. Yes, you can show the updated data. This is what I showed you. This is the one example over here. Okay, let's come to one more example, one more way of telling this. Fine. uh, these are the steps. Fine. Install Redux, define actions, create action creators, reducers, then you have to define, then create the Redux store, integrate Redux with React, and then connect React component to this Redux. These are the steps. So we will do this when we will start our project front end. No, we will do exactly these steps. Install the Redux, define our actions. What actions you want to do? Okay, what actions can be done? Your all functionalities is your action. Fine. If you want to increase the quantity, that is also your action. If you want to increase, if you want to like delete the item from the cart, that is also an action. Fine. Those actions, all those actions will be written. Fine, will be written. Then define the reducers. Those reducers actually read the action and help you to update the store. Fine, and then we will connect React with Redux, and subsequently the Redux component will get combined with our React components. Okay, now see, this is a good example. Fine, you will all relate to this. Fine, this is a our family, basically our family example. Fine, suppose in a house. Okay, suppose in a house, guys, there is a mother. Fine, there is a mother. What she is telling you, she is telling you to fill the waters. What she is telling you to fill the waters. Okay, fill the water in the what you call container or bottle, and put it inside a fridge. Correct, put it inside the fridge, because everyone wants a cold water. Summer vacation, summertime it is, everyone wants a cold water. Fine, you see your younger brother, you see your younger brother. Now what you will do? Can you tell me what you will do now? Your mother has given you a work to fill the water bottle, and you see your younger brother. What you will do? Younger brother, younger sister, whatever you want to imagine. Tell me what you will do. What happened, guys? Nothing. Ah, correct, correct. Thank you, Tara. Tell them to work on our behalf. Yes, correct. So what you will do is that you will tell your younger brother to do one thing. You fill all the water bottles and keep it inside the fridge. Fine. So what he will do, as a what you call younger brother, he has to follow your order. Fine. Otherwise, uh, it can be violence. Fine. So what he will do, he will fill the water bottle and keep it inside the fridge, from where your mother can have a good like cold water. Correct. So what happens? So your mother is actually is a suppose your mother is what, a component. She is giving you an event event to do what? Event means she is asking you to fill the bottle. Now what you did is that you asked your younger brother to do it on your behalf. So you actually pass the action to your younger brother. You got an order, you passed, you told your younger brother to do this thing, you passed an action to this. Fine. Younger brother, being a reducer, what he is doing, he is following your order and updating our storage area, which is fridge. Which is what? Fridge. Correct. Which is fridge. And thus, what happened? This is what how a whole Redux works. Correct. But you will ask, sir, what about APIs? What about APIs? See, the updated data means updated, like she will get a cold glass of water. Okay. What about then API, sir? Then in our picture, there is a father also. Fine. What he is doing, he is enjoying his cold drink. He was enjoying his what? Cold drink. Fine. When he saw the younger brother, that one dispatch, one action he is doing, what he told that please put my bottle also inside the fridge. So in response, younger brother told, okay, I'll also keep. So hence now your mother can also enjoy one cold or chilled cold drink. Father is your API calls. Fine. Okay. And who is monitoring all of these things? Redux dev tools. Yes, there is a development tool which is monitoring all of these things. Key, what was the action, what was the reducers, and how it updated the state and everything is being kept in is in kept in under Redux DevTools. Now you understood, guys. Tell me if you have any doubt. Please do ask me if you have any doubt. Tell me, guys, is there any doubt? Is there any question you want to ask behalf of Redux? Selvam sir, are you getting any messages on uh, uh, go to meeting?
No, sir, I'm not getting any messages in go to meeting.
Fine. Shall we move forward, guys? Okay, fine. So we'll move forward, guys. Fine. Since nobody is asking anything, I hope you understood. Now, this is all about Redux, correct? Now we will use Redux. Fine. I just want to introduce you to the global state management. We'll use Redux, but not here. We will use directly inside our project. Okay. Then we have some introduction on React Router DOM, what I have told you yesterday, that day only we solved. Correct. Okay. Then this is a project flow over here. But Fine. I will teach you. Fine. By drawing some the diagrams over here. So before moving to this, what we have to do is that we have to now we have to now work on our project. Fine. So let me give you one more time a small demo of the project. Fine. Just okay. Guys, see here. So this is what our music player application. I hope it is visible. Okay. So this is a music player application where you are getting a list of music. When you open the application, you are getting at least 15 musics. Fine. Then on the left hand side, you have the option for home. You have the option for search favorite. Then on the top, you have predefined playlist. Fine. You have some predefined playlists like workout, chill, happy mode, fine, relaxing rock musics, and all those things are there. Fine. Then I hope like you can listen to the song which is getting played over here. Fine. Actually, the song is playing, and this is what a volume button, a volume. So you can like increase or decrease the volumes and all. So this we have to do. Okay. And then the authentication part is also there. Means we have the sign up one where we can sign up it. We have also the login part where we can log in it. Fine. So we can log in it. When you log in it, what will happen? The search will open. Fine. In this search, you can write anything like park songs. Fine. So it will give you some whatever the songs you want. Huh. But it will not give you any like Bollywood song, Hollywood like this specific songs or not. Fine. So this is a one free API is what we are using that is called the I think Jando or something it is called. That free API we are using, and that too it is giving you a limited number of songs only. Fine, and not the Bollywood, Hollywood, those kind Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, those kind of songs. They are it is not giving. Fine, so we have to search on that. Okay, then in my favorite, you can add the songs. Correct, you can add those songs over here. Whatever the song is playing about that song, it will give sorry, my favorite. Okay, so see here about the song. It is giving me a highlight. Fine, and it is my favorite song, so it is given over here a heart. Means it is added inside my favorite. Play pause. Next song, previous song. You can go. That thing is there. Okay, then we have shuffle mode. Then we have repeat mode, and then we have playback speed mode also. In which speed you want to listen the song and all those things. And then we have logout button. So this is one thing what we have to build. Okay, so you can check this out. I am giving you the link, fine, and I'll tell like Selvam sir to also paste the same link of of this project inside the YouTube, so that you can check this out. Okay, and it is working, fine. So let me just put it in the go to meeting, and you will those who are live in the YouTube, you will also get that link, fine. And please check this out, because this is what we have to design. And for now, like first last time I am telling, this is the project what you have to submit. The project I will teach you step by step, holding your hand from the top to the last. Everything what it has been done inside the project, I will teach you each and everything, fine. And this you have to submit. If you submit, then you only will get a certificate. I hope it is understandable. Please try, all of you, the project. Once it is done, you do let me know. Once you have tried and you tested, please do let me know, guys. Yes, the videos are recorded now. You'll get recordings for all the lectures. Any all the lectures previously before this class, all the lectures recordings are there only in the LMS, Naresh. Yes, yes. So should we do the music player app as project and you will teach everything? Yes, I will teach everything. Fine. Now it's you can probably do like add more what you call functionality to that. That is your choice, fine. But if you submit this project, whatever I am teaching you, whatever I am teaching you, that project, if you submit, you will get the certificates. Fine. So this application you have to do it. Okay, so shall we start? Okay, so first and the foremost thing is to set up. Okay, now we are not going to write the front end part, fine. Front end part we have studied, so many lot of things we have studied. Now we are going to write its backend. And in the backend, whatever the terms are going to come, fine, whatever the terms are going to come, whatever it is going to come, I will try to explain you, fine. That will give you a basic hint about how the backend is working and how you have to write it. Now, our backend, guys over here, please listen and please stay focused while this 1 hour. Stay focused, fine. This backend is I'm going to write it in Node. Node.js. Fine. And over the Node.js, we are going to use what? Express.js to help to write to write our Node.js uh, fluently. Fine, fluently. Okay, that's why we are using our express.js. Fine. Otherwise, Node.js a little bit typical it is for the beginner. Fine. So that's why we are going for the express.js help us to write the Node.js as our backend. And in the backend technology, we are using Mern stack. Fine, Mern stack. Okay, in which R stands for React that you have learned. Other than that, all things are related Node Express and M for MongoDB, which is database, which is what our database. Fine. So these things M E and N. Now we are going to do that. Fine. So before moving on to anything writing of the project and everything, we just have to have a good understanding of our project. Good understanding means see project you got now. You see what are there, what you have to do. First of all, you have the function. First of all, we have to get the musics, get the musics. So many lot of functionalities are there, datas are there. Fine. That should be a clear picture to all of you. That's why I've given you that's why I've given you the link, because you should feel how this project is working. Once you get to know the project how it is working, then teaching you the code is easier because you can relate. Okay, now let's create a new folder and let's write full stack music player, add our as our project. Fine. Full stack music player. In this, create two new folders. Fine. In this full stack music player, create two new folders. One is called backend. Fine. One is called backend. The another one should call what? Frontend. So this full stack music player will have two folders. Fine. Backend and frontend. Now we are moving towards our backend. So what you should do? Fine. What you should do? Right click on the backend and open in integrated terminal. Yes, styling is your preference. Styling, all those things are your preference. Just I want whatever the functionalities we are teaching to you, that should be there. Plus, whatever you want, you can do it. And no, what you call constraint on the UI part. It's your UI, it's your project, whatever you want to do. But by the end of the day, I should get your project. Now, guys, let's install our backend. Fine. Install means let's fine. Let's configure our backend because we need configuration in the backend to use to create the backend. Fine. So in order to configure your backend, you have to write npm init means initialize. npm initialize. What will happen? It will ask you a bunch of questions. Fine. First of all, it will ask you what is the package name. So either now we have backend, fine. Either you can write backend or you can write music player backend, that you can write. Fine. I'm sorry, my mistake. Spelling is wrong. Version 1.0, whatever the version you can. Version, fine. Description, if you want, you can write the description. Fine. Please see on my terminal. Okay. If you don't want, press enter. Fine. Entry point is our index.js. This one file will be the entry point of backend. Yes. Just like how we have the entry point is main.jsx or index.html is there now, our entry point in our front end. Similarly, in the backend, we will have one more entry point. Okay. Test command, no need to give. No need to give any test command because we are only testing it in our local host. So no need of test command. Git repositories, if you want, you can give, but I don't suggest you give now. After writing after writing some lines of code and everything, you write, then you initialize to git and push your code there. Keywords, if you want to mention some keyword like express, node.js, whatever you want, you can mention it. Fine. Author, you can write your name. I can write team ws over here. Fine. So you can write that thing, team ws. Fine. You can write your own name. Okay. License, no need. Type will be module. Fine. Just make sure you write the type module. It should not be common js. Fine. Common js and modules are helping us to import or export the data. Writing those import and export is a little different in common js and in the module js. Since the modern way is the module js, so we are using those as models. Fine. Modules. Okay. Then it will ask if this is okay. Yes, the press enter. Then what it will do, package.json it will create for you. And if you open the package.json, whatever you have just written, or whatever the questions you have been just asked, all based on that, it will create you one file called package.json and as those datas inside that, you can see. Done, guys. Installed. I hope it is done, guys. Fine. Now we need some of our some what you call installations to run this backend. Fine. Because alone node.js cannot do that. Fine. So we need some of them to run this backend. Okay. Some libraries and all those things. So the first thing what will take help is called express. Yes. The first thing from where it will take the help to run our backend is called express. Fine. So what we'll do here, what you have to do, you have to write npm I. Fine. Express. Express. What, see here, what it does when I install the express package.json package log.json came. Fine, what it is telling you about the what are the dependencies used for used for creating express, and those dependencies names will be there. Package.json, if you see, the dependencies express has been created. Fine. Okay, then we have to write the script is there na, test script is there. Then we have to write one more script. Okay, this is called dev means we have to run this project, no? Correct, we have to run this project, so we need to write a script. Okay, so I will write node index.js. Correct. This is our script, and node index.js will help us to run our JavaScript files outside the browser. Yes, Node.js, what it is does helps you to run the JavaScript outside the browser. Now, if you have thought through or seen through the all whatever the classes we have taken, always you saw that uh, we were writing all the JavaScript code and executing on the browser. Correct? Executing what? Where? On the browser. Console.log the browser, console.error on the browser. Everything was done on the browser. That's what Node.js changed. Node.js told no need to go to the browser to run every JavaScript code. What he does is that you can use your terminal to run your code. And thus what happened is that since people started using the Node.js as not on the browser, as in anywhere inside the computer, so they started building backend. They started building servers. Correct. Started building those servers in which they will have the data. They will have they will have a potential to get called by the APIs and get the request, give the response. Those capabilities built, and how those capabilities built? Because of this node. Fine, because of this node. Now node, if you write node index.js, what will happen? Whatever you write in the index.js file, whatever you write in the index.js file, it can be executed directly on our terminal. No need to go to the browser. Fine. So let's write our index.js. Now, where you will write index.js, you can write inside the backend new file, and you can write index.js. Fine. And over here, just you write console.log. Hi. Fine. Console.log. Hi. And what you do, you run npm run dev. Fine. What it is printing? Hi. Where it is printing? On the browser, on the terminal, not on the browser. Where it is printing? On the terminal, not on the browser. Okay. Now you see. Now what happened? Once it is executed, it will close. It will be getting closed. Fine. If I make any changes, I cannot see. Suppose I am writing hello. Then I have to again run npm run dev. So it is printing hi and hello. But how our server is running 24 by 7? Here it is not able to run 24 by 7. Here it is exiting. Once it is given the output, it is exiting. The backend is getting closed. Again, we have to run npm run dev. So here something called as node double dash watch is there, which is continuously monitoring the index.js file, which is continuously monitoring the index.js file and never stop executing it. Fine. So now if you run npm run dev, see hi, hello, and completely run the index.js, and still you see it has not exited. If I write something more, if I write something more, hello world, and just I will save this, you see it will again run and it will print hi, hello, hello world. No need to again run npm run dev. No need to again run what? Npm run dev. Understood? So the continuation opening of the backend. That's why we are using node double dash watch. Done. Okay. Lot more dependencies we need to create, but one by one we'll see. Okay, fine, one by one. Let's just first focus on like what we have to write inside our index.js. Fine. Now what we have to do is to create a server. What you have to do, you have to create a port where a front end can call with the APIs. Fine. L- See, so basic diagram you remember, guys. Basic diagram you remember that there is a front end which is going to call the backend. Fine, which is going to call a backend where logics and DB is there. Fine, logic and DBs are there. It is going to request you with an APIs. Fine, and we are going to get a response. We are going to get a response. Fine, this is front end and this is backend. Done. Okay. Next thing, you first of all know, you should know what is a API, what are APIs and how we are creating it, how we are writing it. Fine. So just go to this one, REST APIs you write, RESTful APIs you write. Fine. And let's see how it has been created. Okay. See here, there are some HTTP requests. What are those type of requests? See, get, post, put, delete. Get, post, put, delete. Get means what? You will get the data. Fine, you are actually fetching the data, getting the data. Post means you want to add the data inside your MongoDB, inside your backend. Fine. Put and patch. There is two things, put and patch. So put method, put what it does, when you want to edit something, then you can use a put or patch method. Patch method means what? It will not disturb the older data. Whatever the data you need to update, that data only will get updated. Whereas put will replace the data. Fine, replace the whole data. Suppose 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 you have written like this one. Sorry, one data is there like this. Okay, and in this name is written and email ID is written. Correct. Fine. Now, if you do a put request, what you have to do, you have to give the name. Suppose you are only changing the email ID. So name you want, so you have to write the name, which is the older name. Fine. Suppose this name is what? Rohit Kumar. Rohit is there. So you have to write this Rohit as a older, and email whatever the me you are changing, you write the changes over here. This is for the put request. Whereas patch request, what you have to do, you have to just send the data email with the new data, just it. So it will not actually bother about the others what it is changing. It will just change that data and come out. Whereas if you don't give name inside your put folder, no, it is going to replace the name and email with only email. Yes, with only email it will replace it. And delete, so you know what it will do. Delete. Fine. So get, post, put, delete. Using this five, put and patch, using this five, actually we are doing what? CRUD operations. And you see, guys, in the whole application, whatever the application you take it, we are only doing this four thing. Fine. Create, read, update, and delete. Let's take an example. Have you booked an Uber? Have you booked an Uber? If you have booked, booking of a Uber is what? Creation of an activity, creating a booking. Fine. If you are checking your riding history, what you are doing? What you are doing? You are fetching the details or you are getting the details. Means reading the data. Booking means what? Creating. Writing history is what? Fetching the data, reading the data. If you want to update something in suppose you are booking the Uber and you want to give him a tip. So what you do? You do again put or patch request. If you want to cancel your ride, or if your auto has been booked and you want to cancel it, that is what we do. Delete. That's what we do. Delete operation. And other than that, nothing is done in the whole application. You can check anything you check, anything you think of. Fine. So yeah, CRUD operations, guys. Fine. So this is how we have to actually create an API, which front end can call, which front end can call, and it should get me the data. HTTP api.example.com/resources. Fine. So see here, client is what? Front end, and server is our backend. If you read this whole article, no, trust me, guys, you will never. First of all, it is very easy. Second of all, you will never forget it then. Just this article about the REST APIs. And remember, everyone in your interview who is taking interview about the front end or back end or database, they will ask you what is an API, how an API works, what is the work of an API. And if you don't know API, that this is the basic thing you should know. That's what they will tell, because it is helping us to get the data and save the data, and get the data and write the data. Fine. Okay. Now, how front end is going to communicate, how backend is going to know that front end or any API is getting caught. Fine, any API is getting called, and this API have to do this. This API have to do this. How backend will know? Backend will know when it is running for 24/7, and it has one port which is only listen to these type of APIs. There will be a port which is open to listen this APIs. So let's create this port. Actually, not port. Let's create that server. That server should be running every time, and it should has a port which is responsible for listening and responding to those API calls. Continuous running. That's what I'm telling, na. Uh, Vanya. That's what I'm telling, na. It has to continuously listen to the APIs. Now I can hit an API now. You can hit an API after 1 o'clock in the night, after 2 o'clock at the night. Is it happening? It is happening sometimes that 1 o'clock at the night you are not able to access. Morning 7 o'clock, when the morning 9 o'clock, when all the employees will come to the office, then the website is getting started. When 9 o'clock evening, when all the employees is leaving from the office, then the website is getting down. That type of thing you have not studied, no? You have not seen. Every time you open a website is open. Well, it doesn't depend on whether it is a Sunday, Saturday, a holiday, 2nd October, Diwali, Holi. It doesn't matter with them. It is opening. Why? Because it is continuously listening to those APIs. And that is what a server does. And that server we are going to create with the help of Node.js on top of that Express. Is it clear? Ju- just 1 second. Okay, guys. So let's create our server then. Fine. So let's open our project. Okay. So in the index.js, we don't have to write this. What we have to do, since Express is our dependency, so we need to import Express. Fine. We need to do what? We need to import Express. So I will write import Express from Express. And guys, if you do it with me, this project will be easy. If you will think that we'll do it later, then there will might be chances of getting some mistakes. If you do it right with me, it is very helpful for you. After that, what you can do, once you tried with me, then you can then you can do what in the home you can see, okay, what are the things, what this line mean, what that line means you can write the comment on them. That will be a good way of learning. Okay, that will be a really good way of learning. Okay, since we have imported the Express, what we'll do, all the Express power I'm going to give this to our application. So const one variable app is equal to Express. So all our computational power of the Express and everything, we are giving this to what, our app. Fine. Okay, then I'm telling app dot listen. Listen to what he will listen to a port. Now we have to decide the port. Okay, we have to decide the port and listen to the port, and in return, not a prompt, port. And in that, you give that time, you give when you are listening to the port, you tell me that server is running on port, anything you can take. I am taking dollar port value. Fine. Now now tell me one thing, guys. Do you want to show your port? Do you want to make it visible, your port? Okay, what happened is that, see, the 5000 is working in your system, but once it is being deployed, means when it is being pushed inside any backend server where it is running this file, there may be the 5000 port is used by someone else. So we have to make it more flexible. Fine. So what I will do, I will not actually share the port values. I will create one environmental variable file. Fine, environmental variable file, and that extension is called .env file. This env file will create where I will keep my information. Port is equal to 5000. Fine, where I will keep my information, and this port data should, in the index.js, whatever the port I am sending, this port should go from our environmental variables file. Because what happened, this port data can be changed. For suppose if you are going to AWS, the port value there might be changed. If you are uploading into Azure, Azure, these are cloud servers. Fine, you put your files on that cloud server, and cloud server is running, help you to run these files for you. Because obviously you will not have a laptop on. Fine, you will not have a laptop on for 10 years, 15 years, continuously running. We have servers for them. Fine, we have servers for them. Correct. So you will upload in AWS, there the port value should be will be different. If you upload in Azure, there the port value is different. If you upload on Render, on Railway, on Netlify, anywhere, the port value will differ. So I want to make it flexible. So what it does is, wherever I use a port value, I should keep it inside one file, so that in one file I make the changes, and everywhere that changes can reflect. Good idea. I don't have to individually go and change the port values. Once I have changed the port value, it should reflect it to all those files where we have written the port values. Fine. That's why we are writing in environmental variable. And these environmental variables, whatever we are going to write in the side this environmental variable, there are two benefits, major benefits. One, that the whatever the values you are going to give is going to be centralized. You don't have to exclusively go everywhere and change the data inside that file. Second, these data are secure. These data are the secured keys and everything you have to try, because these environmental variables are never added inside GitHub. Never added inside GitHub. Fine, I'll tell you the reason why later, not now. Fine. Okay. So how to read this environmental variables? Fine. So for that what we have a third part, we have a package. Fine, we have a dependency. It's called npm I dot env, which will help us to read this environmental variables. Fine. So what we have to do, we have to write import dot env from dot env. Okay, and you have to write dot env dot config, fine, dot env dot config your environmental variables file. That file configuration we want. Okay, and what you have to write, const, see, const port is equal to process. Now whatever it is written inside environmental variable, we have to get the access like this, process dot env, fine, process dot environmental variable dot the value port, fine, dot the value port, or you can write 5001, 5001. Okay, if this is working, it's okay. If this is not working, then we can use 5001. And now you run it. Over here, sorry, my bad. You have to write actually console.log control V. Yes, console.log control V. So you have to write, now you see server is running on the port 5000. Fine. And now this server is what, static. Means it is always open. It is always away, it is not ending, the server is running always. If you press a control s, again the server will run. You see server is running on the port 1000, port 5000, means it is listening to the port 5000, always aware of that port 5000. Fine. Now you see one more thing we have to write, app.use. Okay, now guys, app.use. Okay, use is a middleware. Fine. In that, express dot json. Fine. What it does is that whatever the datas are coming, whatever the datas will be coming to this backend, or the request will be coming to this backend, they will change everything inside the JSON format data. Yes, they will change everything, all the objects, arrays, anything will come inside the JSON format data, and then we are going to process anything. For that, we have written this line of code, express.json. Means convert all the things into inside JSON format data and then process it. Okay, see now how to do that. See here how to write it, how to test it, whether our port is working or not. First of all, this is the test, server is running, but how to test whether it is listening to us or not? So what I will write, app.use. We are creating now an API, small API, just to test. App.use over here, forward slash, fine, forward slash means what I told, home, fine, the basic one. Okay, forward slash, over here comma, you have to write, you know what, you have to write your request and response cycle. Yes, request comma response cycle means it is going to tell, it is this this is what, this is a function where parameters is request and response. So what request is coming, that we have to analyze, based on that response we have to give, based on that response we have to give. That is why this callback function is written, and this is where the logics are written, guys. This is where our logics are written. These are all set up, these are all set up that you have to do over and over again, but the real important business logics are written over here. Fine. Now you see, I can write here, I will just send a response, response dot status, Fine. Status 200. 200 means what? Okay. Yes. Successful. Dot JSON format. Message I will send. Message I will send. Sorry. Fine. That it's serve port or server is working. Fine. Server is not working. Now where to test? Very good question. Where to test? So for that we have what? Postman. Fine. For that we have what? Postman over here. Fine. See, I'll open the Postman. I open the Postman over here. What I've written? HTTP localhost 5000. Fine. Our server is also running on localhost 5000. What it is? Get request. Or you can write not app.use, app.get. App.get request. So get request you will get. Okay. Now this get request. Okay. Sorry. Postman. Okay. Get request. See here. We have written our port, our server. Fine. And then what I will do, I will send it. Once I will send it, what you are getting? What you are getting is 200 OK message. Means request successful. The server has responses respond as required. And the message what I am getting? Message I am getting server is working fine. It means our establishment. It means our server is working as fine. And it doesn't matter how many times you do. Every time it is going to give you the same answer. Why? Because server is not down. Server is always aware of that in the port what data is coming. So this is how you build your server, guys. Is there any doubt, guys? This is your first server what you have created. Now, guys, one thing I want to ask over here. Fine. One thing, one example I am telling you. Fine. Just reply. Please try to reply to that example. Okay. Okay. I'll open the YouTube charts and everything. Just try to reply to that answer. Suppose, guys, uh, You have your everyone have their Instagram account, correct? Suppose you have your internet banking. Suppose this is your internet banking backend, and this is your Instagram front end. Correct, correct. This is your Instagram front end, and that is your internet banking backend. Okay. Can I Instagram front end? Can I go to this backend and fetch the data? Tell me. Can I from the Insta or let's take Facebook. This is your FB front end. Can I fetch the data from your internet banking backend? Is it possible? Is it happening? Yes. Somebody is telling yes. Never. This cannot happen. Fine. This internet banking backend is only accessible with that particular front end. What particular front end to whom it has given the access? Means what? Suppose internet banking backend will only give the access to their company's front end. Internet banking backend, it has given only access to their company. Suppose we are using HDFCs, correct? HDFC, any bank account, if you okay, if you see any bank account, that bank account can only access the data from your bank account, correct? Not other bank account, not other bank account. Similarly, your Facebook cannot get the access of your internet banking backend. Instagram cannot get the access of your internet banking backend. Fine. Or any other backend. This backend, this backend has what can help you to restrict who can call me. This backend data will help, can restrict and can be only accessible to the particular front end. That limitation you can add. Why this limitation is at? So that everyone should not use this backend. Fine. Only so that it should restrict it. So that restriction is allowed in your backend. Why? So that misuse of this backend cannot be done. Suppose somebody has your access of their internet banking backend. What they can do? They can take your money. They can make your transactions go zero. They can delete your transaction history. So many things they can do. Similarly, if somebody have your Instagram profile backend, then they can delete. They can uh, I don't know what they can do. So many things they can do. Correct. So many things they can do. So you have a flexibility over here that you can actually tell which backend to which front end can only access me. In this particular web design, we call them as course. What we call course. You have heard of this error. Many times you have heard of this error. This type of error generally comes when you are trying to access the backend which is not which is not assigned to you. Fine. That time what happened, the course is coming, the course error it is there. Fine. So see here, course. Okay. The course is what cross origin resource sharing, a security mechanism in web browser that uses http headers to control whether a web page from one domain can access the resources of another domain. That's what it is checking. It is adding a security inside your backend. Fine. So similarly, we can also add a security, we can also add a security inside our backend. Not similar way, we can also use course to add a security inside our backend. So first of all, what you have to do if you want, okay, first of all, go to your project. Okay. In this, you write npm I course. We are going to apply what? Course. Cross origin resource sharing. Then again run the server. Okay, we have installed course. Over here in the index.js file, you have to write app.use, app.use, sorry, where I'm writing app.use, and you can use, course. Right? Now, course, since it is a third party, you have to import it. Import course from course. Now, app.use course over here, you can give a priority to which front end you want, means which origin or which client you want to give an access. So, origin you write, and you can write over here HTTPS, fine, HTTP colon double forward slash local host colon colon 5173. Now, remember this for what it we are using for React frontend. So those who are running in 5173 will have the access of this particular backend. If I am running my port on 5174, I will not have the access of this particular backend. And then you have to write credentials true. Credentials true. Only with the port 5173, whatever the front end is running or whatever the front end we are going to design, that only is accessible with this backend. Others are not accessible. That's what the course does. Course. And course is a problem in backend, not in the front end. Please remember this. Okay. If you want, you can add more that who can have an access. And also, if you want, you can write like this also. You can write star. It means all front end can have the access of this backend, all. But if you have specified this localhost 5173, means this only is the front end which can access this particular backend what we are designing. Understood? Did you understand the course? That's why you will get sometimes you will get a course issue. Why? Because the front end is not having the rights to access the particular backend. That's why there is a course issue. We cannot send a request to a banking backend. Fine. If from everywhere. Doubt, guys, doubt. Please ask me the doubt, or otherwise, let's stop here. Okay. Tomorrow we'll do more on this backend, and we'll try to complete as soon as possible. So today, whatever I make you understand, Redux, course issues, backend, Express, did you understand? There is no individual project, Punana. Again, I'm telling again and again. I've repeated it so a lot many times. Please watch this recording, fine, today, and then you will get everything clear. So thank you, guys. You can leave the session. Okay, we'll continue Monday. Fine. Okay, and please do, uh, do the project with me. Fine. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. 哈 so quiz 2 is available from today 9:30 to Monday. Fine. Quiz 2 is quiz 2 is available from today 9:30 to Monday 7 o'clock. Please do try to attempt it. Fine. Please attempt it. The quiz. 5173 is no, when you create a React application with the help of Vite, then 5173 is common.